You want to sit there or you sitting on your straight back? Oh, you play harmonica too?
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, this right here is the snake doctor. And they're looking at us right here. We'll do a YouTube video of this. I met, his name is Harold Gary, correct?
Right.
Yep. But he goes by the name of Snake Doctor. He can't stand snakes. And so, I told him, I met him in Walmart yesterday. I'm down here visiting my wife, her mother, 99-year-old mother, and we're over there. Anyway, I was in Walmart and I saw him, and I bet we talked for about an hour, hour and a half, didn't we?
At least.
At least. And I mean, it was bright and light outside when I got to Walmart. Boy, it was dark when I left. And so, let me see, that's what I'm looking for. But he was up in Nashville. He knows Jerry House.
And Jerry, my favorite.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. Charlie never discovered her so much. I wouldn't tell Jerry that.
Huh?
I wouldn't tell Jerry that.
Yeah.
Well, he was respected.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to play a few songs and kind of tell you the story behind a few songs, if that's good with you.
And I am loving look forward to hearing them.
Okay, man. All right, well, I can sit right
I'll
here.
be the best one-man fan club we'll have. Or audience or whatever.
You see, this is getting us. I want to get to you too. See how it's looking.
Yeah, it's good old sound.
No, let me see. No, I'm just going to get you in right here. I got you now. We was talking about country music. He used to live up in Nashville, so I thought, and he loves country music. So I brought him a CD, and we're going to get to the bottom of that. Need some suspenders, so we're going to get to the bottom of that before we leave.
Get to the bottom of my ankles, my britches called
Right.
But freight train plays harmonica. That's his lead instrument in his band, Trainwrecks.
Okay.
And he went to MTSU, I think, studied a little bit of music. Well, he was a good man.
So you was in the veteran, you were a Vietnam veteran from 1959 till 1975?
Vietnam era, and I wasn't in Vietnam. I was in during that time. I just stayed in until 62, and then I came home. But that 75 is when it ended, and it started in 59 when I went in. You know,
How young are you?
I'm 79. Well, when I went in, I was 17. They won't take them at 17 now. After they would be a high school graduate and 18 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to enlist, but I never had. My brother went, but he was in the Marines, and he didn't have to see any combat.
Good, I'm glad.
Yeah, he just went to camp. I forgot what it was in
Lejeune?
out in California.
Oh, Fort Ord.
It was camp. I forgot what it was, but he did his service, and my dad, he was a boxer in the Navy, and so he taught us how to defend ourselves and kick ass if we needed to. So.
I'm still trying to think of what Marine camp was in Pendleton?
Pendleton.
Yeah, okay,
Pendleton.
now.
Yeah.
Or it is just, I think it's just military. I think everybody goes there. But,
well, he knows Jerry House from Jerry House and the House Foundation, and I was telling him the story that one morning they were talking, and I was actually in jail and just driving on without my license. They made me do 60 days, and
Oh boy, that
and
was,
I even did 48 hours with Trace Atkins.
you kid.
He got pulled over for a DUI, and when you get convicted, you have to do two days. And
Trace
so I
Atkins.
gave him my bunk, and the guy's he's probably about that much taller than I
I
am.
love Trace Atkins' voice.
Yeah, oh, I bet I sang him, I bet you, 50 songs. And he'd sit there like, But anyway, so one morning I was listening to the radio. They had this little see-through radio that you could transistor. And I listened to Jerry House and the House Foundation. And him and his sidekick, Mike Bohan, Devin O'Day was there. And I always listened to Jerry, because Jerry is just amazing.
He is.
Great guy.
And it comes natural to it.
Yeah, it really does. And so they were talking about something, and he goes, "Oh, that's in the clouds." I was like, "In the clouds? Well, that's an idea for a song." So, but how could I make the listener look up into the clouds? So I wrote this. It's called "In the Clouds." Playing catch with our little boy, I hear the high pop fly, looking up and trying to find the ball in the sky. He dropped his glove, missed the catch, hollered, "Hey Daddy, wow!" Looky there, 'cause I can't see Mommy in the clouds. I could have swore Da Vinci painted you with a brush on a canvas that he borrowed from what God has given us. Blocking out the sun was someone looking down. I would have bet $1 million that was you in the clouds. I called everyone we knew that didn't live too far, so they could go outside and see exactly where you are. All at once, everyone in our small country town stood there taking pictures of you in the clouds. We knew the storm was bad, coming back from Monterey. Your mama called and said she'd wish you'd stayed another day. Well, then we'd know for sure that you are safe and sound. But I know you are, 'cause that had to be you in the clouds. Our son, he asked me, "Daddy, does this really mean that Mommy's up in heaven looking down on me? Does she know everything I do even though she's not around? Well, son, she knows more than you know up in the clouds." Every night before he goes to bed, he says his little prayer. He always ends with, "Mommy, I sure wish you were here." But I'm alright and Daddy's fine. Tell Jesus I won't let him down. Mommy, I promise one day again I will see you in the clouds. I wrote that song and I shut the radio off because Jerry House, every morning he was 5 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
and I never shut that radio off. And I had to write this song, and I shut it off at 8 o'clock, and by 8:16, that song was written.
Quick.
Oh my gosh! And it came full circle. I went to a funeral with a friend. I didn't know anybody, you know, and she says, "Would you come just for moral support? Come to," because it was her grade school friend that died of cancer, and so here I am in the middle of his bandolier where Loretta Lynn was born, and I think it's band, yeah. But anyway, so they were all, and I didn't know anybody out there, and I was just long-haired, you know, because it was out in the country, you know. But everyone was talking to this about this woman that passed away, just giving their stories, and they says, "Anybody else got anything to say?" And I just felt, and there was 2 little boys over by the husband. The mother was up in the casket. I said, I don't know any of you people, but I've got a song that I wrote, and I don't know, it's not about anybody. And so I'd like to recite some of the words, and I recited the words. And people want that CD. Well, I didn't even have it on CD. I think it's on that. CD that I gave you. But nevertheless, so yeah, that was pretty neat. Everyone was crying by the time I got done. They just couldn't believe how that song was written for no one, and now it came full circle. And so,
music gets this industry killer. You know, anything come out of the movie.
Yeah, music business is. Well, it's
you got to have it. The ideas or whatever.
Yeah, you got to know. It's people who say it's not who you know don't know anybody, because it's who you know. And a bunch of money.
Alan Jackson's wife had met Glenn Campbell. He might have kissed it.
Yeah, on the airplane, and Doug Casmus became his. Yes, I know that whole story.
And I think that I might be. I don't have the word, but off of Eddie Stubbs. I think I know about as much as he does. That's what I do.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie Stubbs is a walking encyclopedia.
Oh, he is. I love Eddie Stubbs. I think he retired now. Bill Cody's still in there.
Yeah.
Cody Coffee and Country, and he's still in there. Devin O'Day, she's going strong. And I think Jerry House is on the Sirius network. You can get them, him and Mike Mohan.
He can't give it up. He's been in it too long, and he loves
Well,
it.
I don't know if they'll let him. He's just too good. You know, he's making $2 million a year for WSIX. I mean,
part of that's from knowing the UPS man come visit his wife sometime when he's gone.
Yeah.
You hear that little joke? It's a running joke he does. He'll go tell somebody sometime that he went home and the UPS man was just leaving.
Oh, wow.
He's something else, I tell you.
Yeah, he is.
But I didn't meet him, but I heard him and started liking him when he was Jerry House and Paul Randall. And Paul Randall was his sidekick.
Wow.
Yeah, Paul, I think, lives in Cottage Grove.
Uh-huh.
And I did a little bit of work for him one time.
Uh-huh.
And
wow.
But he just dropped out, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it might have been when Jerry went to California. I'm not real sure. But
is that where he went? Was it to California?
When I lost him, he went to California. He had done like everybody else did out of Nashville.
Bakersfield.
Well, L.A., man. The newsman on Channel 4. I'm hell with names. I cannot remember. Dan Miller.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He went out there trying to be...
Remember Amy Marcellus?
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, he was a hottie. Amy. Well, that pissed my girlfriend off.
But Pat Sajak and Dan Miller was trying to do Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon. It didn't work out.
I've never heard Pat say Jack.
Yeah.
No, it's a joke. I never heard Pat say Jack.
Oh yeah, I get it.
I never heard Pat say Jack shit.
But he and Oprah Winfrey, they was always natural with somebody.
Yeah, she made her way. She was born there.
And her daddy still run the bar shop over in East Nashville.
Yeah. That's right. If he's still with us.
She was something else.
Yeah. I mean, she's a billionaire.
Oh yeah.
You know, she has that her own TV station. It's called OWN, Oprah Winfrey Network. And man, it is hot.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, it's a good station. A lot of the 2020 will be on there, be true stories, and yeah, she was awesome. I mean, she still is. She's still going strong. So, you want to hear another one?
Sure.
I'm
gonna get my phone. I'm gonna call.
If you could hand me that coffee cup.
I got some fresh coffee butter if your son needs some.
You ever heard of Tim Hortons coffie?
Oh no.
Yeah.
I don't think
This
so.
lady, Leanna, I woke up one morning and I says, man, ought to be a law against waking up without coffee. And this lady says, Leanna Ferguson, she says, what kind of coffee do you drink? And I said, I'm nothing but classic roast Folgers, dark.
Well, that's what I got done.
Yeah. She goes, you ever heard of Tim Hortons? I go, I don't know a Tim Hortons. She goes, no. You can only get it in Canada. And they call it Canadian crack. And so you have to order it. She goes, well, where are you at? And I'll send it to you. She sent me every 3 or 4 weeks, would send me a couple of bags of Tim Hortons coffee. And I bet she sent me Tim Hortons coffee for probably 8 years. You know, in Nashville, they have rooms. The families will offer rooms to cater to the songwriters. You can stay there for a week for $80, $90, $100. And I bet I lived in over 100 places. And I saw the other side of the tracks quite often. And I bet she sent that to me. And finally I got in a position. She goes, how are you doing on your coffee? I says, I can order it myself. And so I get it. It's Tim Hortons. And I'll bring you some tomorrow. Before we leave town, I'll bring you some tomorrow.
Okay.
If you want to try it out. It's great.
And boy, I tell you what, you are a friend already, and you can tell when you meet somebody. I can, you probably can.
Oh yeah, I can.
Whether or not you're a friend or not.
Yes.
And it just stuff happened.
Yeah.
And when I saw you, I thought, you know what, I can't. I hadn't even spoke to you yet, and then I met you around that corner.
I know.
and that was karma.
Yeah. Yeah, you had said you was coming in your little. He was riding one of those little things. He can walk, but it's just, you know, it's easier just to. And so I said, well, you know, and I could tell that you just didn't want to be in that damn chair. And I told him, I go, well, we're all going to be there one day. He goes, I know it. And he stood up, and we sat there and talked for at least an hour, hour and a half. And it was just, I said, well, man, you want a CD? He goes, well, yeah. So I said, well, I'll tell you what, give me your address. And I'm thinking, well, and I saw it was Picayune. We're down here for her mother. And so I'm like, well, shit, I can just bring it over, you know, instead of mail it. I mean, I don't mind mailing it, but I can just bring it over personally.
Why not?
And
I love that.
Yeah, and so here I am, and I got to do some Christmas carols over at her mother's assisted living place, and I'd love it if you could go, but they probably wouldn't want anybody. I don't know. I mean,
you know, little things happen sometimes, and if you're not watching, you'll miss them. Like a little thing happened with a hee-haw producer. I was doing the window door thing.
I used to live right behind his house.
Oh yeah.
What was his name?
Well, it's a she, Sandy Lyles.
Okay, well there was a guy that was I forgot his name.
And
Anyway.
what had happened, they gave me a ticket to go to their house over in East Nashville.
Yeah.
And put some dorm windows on it. And I recognized the name on the ticket. So after I got done, with about 5 or 6 windows of it, and she came up, brought me a check, and I said something like, "Are you the Sandy Lyles?" She said, "Well, I'm Sandy Lyles, but I don't know about the D part." I said, "One of the producers of E-Hall." She said, "Nobody leaves the credit that I do."
Yeah.
And I mean, you see her name on that grades all the time. She said, "Well, my goodness, I would never thought that, but you remembered my name." Well, they were giving away those fluorescent caps at that time. She took my name, address, and mailed me 2 or 3 of them fluorescent hats.
Oh,
yeah.
How cool is
Just
that?
to be recognized.
That's cool.
It was.
That is.
Beautiful lady.
My wife would get upset if I didn't do a song I wrote for my wife. It's called "This One's Gonna Last." We met online, and just something about her. It's a crazy, wonderful, beautiful mess of a love story. But you know what? I think this time, this one's gonna last. So I wrote this. Goes out to you, Patsy. We'll bring you over here tomorrow before we leave. You came into my life out of nowhere. The future came to me from the past. You seem like someone I know forever. Something tells me this one's gonna last. Yeah, I love you, I want you, I need you in my life, more than the flowers need the rain. You give me, you show me everything I miss. Something tells me this one's gonna last. Every time I look at you, I see my best friend, the only one that I've been searching for. But here we are, standing in forever. Hey baby, we have one more. Yes, I love you, I want you, need you in my life, more than the flowers need the rain. You give me, you show me everything I miss. Something tells me this one's gonna last. Baby, I'm the one that will love you all your life. I will be the one to kiss you every night. I love you, I need you, I want you in my life, more than the flowers need the rain. You give me, you show me everything I miss. Something tells me this one's gonna last. Oh yeah, something tells me this one's gonna last. Yeah, God told me this one's gonna last.
That is beautiful.
We just cut that. It's on our next album. And so, yes, yeah. And as soon as we get the album done, I'll send you one.
Oh,
And
Well, good. I was going to call my daughter and let her listen to you.
You're
on
more
the
than
phone.
welcome to.
She would, I mean, she's working at St. Thomas in Woodbury, and hell of a job. And
She's over at St. Thomas up in Nashville.
yeah.
Wow.
She lives out in Murfreesboro.
Uh-huh.
But she was born in Nashville.
Wow.
And the other two kids, they were born in Kentucky. But they have switched to Tennessee. They're full-blooded Tennesseans, so to speak.
Yeah.
The one, the oldest one works at Nissan, and Yates does the hiring and firing at Nissan. Man,
Still alive?
hey, come here, man.
Hi there, how are you?
I was making sure you're still alive.
This is Mrs. Bandito.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Garrett.
This
Good to meet you.
Who? Who are you?
I'm Garrett Walker.
Okay.
You're standing right in front of the camera. You're
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
No, it's all right.
Oh, no, no.
Say hi.
But just a minute.
Okay. Oh, I gotta go back to work.
Yeah, I'm over here. It won't take me a minute. Just listen to the boy.
What are you
And he
doing?
wrote most of it.
I'm singing him some songs. I'm from Nashville. Oh, I was there for 23 years. But
we
now I
know a lot
live
of
in
people that the same people. I made it to Walmart last night.
I bet we sit there. Yeah, we sat there and talked. We was bumping into each other, and I could tell he was just saying so bulky, and I'm like, you know what? We're all going to be there one day. And we sat there and talked for an hour and a half, right in the middle of the men's section, good section. At least it wasn't right in the middle of lingerie. But nevertheless, we sit there and talked for at least an hour, hour and a half.
And some
Oh, I believe it. You got some stories with him.
Some of the musicians we both know, and disc jockeys, whatever.
Yeah, Jerry House and the House Foundation. And so I said, hey, give me your address, I'll send you a CD. And I thought, well, we're here till tomorrow. My wife, her 99-year-old mother is out in Timeless Grace, an assisted living place. And so we're here for her for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Oh, that's good.
And so I'm at an Airbnb, really nice, kind of like a small apartment, studio apartment. And
that song he was saying, and he wrote it down, I said, that's beautiful, and it fits that thing I got hanging over there.
Yeah.
So my wife wrote that, she was awesome.
I think
You ought to read that. That's awesome.
All right. Well,
He
awesome.
hates himself. I just can't make sure
He's
he's
doing
still
good
breathing.
so far.
I just make sure he's still breathing.
Trying to take care of me.
Well, thanks for checking on him. See, you just live right around here?
I'm a landlord.
Oh, you're the landlord.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw a car, a strange car. You
No,
thought,
I'll
well,
check on that
okay.
today.
Well, good for him. Good for you both.
She showed me some of the pictures of her wedding.
Yeah.
Hers and Scotty in their Bandito wedding.
Oh, wow, I bet.
She both, well, she was in Bandito before he was. They
Yeah,
married
wow.
like that.
Let's see, I'll get to another one.
Get my phone. I don't want to interrupt you, but
No, you're all right. You can interrupt me all you want. I'm the one who's interrupting you.
she won't be. Well, she won't be able to listen long, but she's working, and it demands her time, and she loves what she does. And she I talked her into getting her master's because the guy she's married to is, I won't say any more about him.
So she's married to?
No, my daughter.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And she's the one that works at Woodbury Hospital.
Right.
She when she got that master's, started to drop out. I knew I would drop out. I'll break your legs. I'll break your arm. I'll point. I'll do anything. And then I'll make another just like it, and I'll do her the same way. She don't get her master's, but she did get it, and started working for the state. The master's degree was in like home something. I can't think. But anyway,
Yeah.
she really wanted that, and she wanted to work at Vanderbilt. So when she worked for the state, she kept watching and feeling on the computer, and Vanderbilt called her for an interview. Dad, guess what? Vanderbilt called me and wanted to interview me. I said, don't get your hopes up on it. First time? No. And I said, you probably won't get it. But anyway, I want to warn you so you won't be choked up too high.
Right.
So, sure enough, she didn't get it. I knew she would. She said, how'd you know that? I said, well, I've been around. I've been watching it. I know that. And about 2 weeks later, Vanderbilt called her again. She called me. She said, Daddy, guess what? What? Vanderbilt called me again. I said, pack your bag, baby. She said, what do you mean? I said, you gonna get it this time. Be ready. And how do you know? I told you. I knew you wasn't gonna get the first one. I knew on this one just by feeling. And sure enough, she got it. And they put her right to work at Vanderbilt Hospital in the children's psychiatric human resources. That's what she had to do.
Wow.
And and she didn't have seniority or whatever. She wasn't free to do things, make choices or whatever.
Right.
But Vanderbilt started her out $50,000 a year. I couldn't
There
believe
you
it.
go.
And
$25 an hour ain't bad.
And she called me again after I come down here. About 2 or 3 weeks before my birthday, which was September 13th. And Dan, I got some good news. What? I mean, here she said, I resigned my job at Vanderbilt. I said, okay. You know, that's good news, I guess. But she said, Dan, that ain't it. Okay. She said, partly. Because I've always taught her, don't ever quit a job unless you got stuff equal or better lined up.
Right.
You don't want to be that job.
Sure.
And she said, I already had this job before I quit Vanderbilt. And I said, what is it? Same thing, same capacity.
St. Thomas?
There's a lady in Woodbury Hospital,
Yeah.
St. Thomas College, and she is an A1, and they love her there, but she can't work in that capacity without a master's or work under somebody that does have a master's. They asked me to take it, and I said, oh, great. She said, I started to work with your birthday. And now this is the good part. I said, what's the good part? $6,800 more than I was getting down there with opportunity to go.
Oh my God.
She got it made now.
Yeah, she's
closer to home. It's just east of Murfreesboro. Don't have to fight that traffic in the Nashville every day.
Yeah.
Isn't
Well,
that
I tell
great?
you what, yeah.
I'm so proud of her.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and get to another song.
I had to tell you that.
Huh?
I had to tell you that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I mean, it's just, I love hearing inspirational stories.
When you work hard, things come out.
Right. But it used to be every morning, you say that you're spiritual, not necessarily believe in God, but you're not religious, you're just, you know, there is a higher power.
Yeah,
We
I
do
do
know
believe
that.
Yeah, it has to be.
Well, every morning I'd get up, man, I would say this prayer, and it'd be the same prayer. You know, God heard you the first time. You don't have to keep on asking him the same damn thing. So I thought, well, I would say the same prayer. I thought, let me just add 3 chords. So this is called Let Us Pray. It's on, I think it's on that, I'm not sure, CD. Bow your head, let us pray to God above to give us strength and all his love. Lead us through this path of darkness, turn the night into day. Please, dear Lord, let us pray. Did that on purpose. Take my hand as I walk with you. Down on my knees, lift me up to your heaven. When you're done with me, praise the grace for his glory. The heavens for today. dear Lord, let us pray. Dear Lord, we come to you and I want to thank you before I ask you anything. I want to thank you for meeting this man at Walmart. It was obvious, Lord. I know it was you. And I'm just so grateful to have met him down here in Picayune, Mississippi. Is that right? I don't even know where I'm at. But I was able to meet him, and I'm over at his little place in a great, beautiful little corner of the world. And going to get him on the CBD oil. That way he can just live to be 300. I don't know if he even wants to live that long. CBD is God's medicine for everything. So anyway, so I want to thank you, Lord, for making this happen. And we ask that you just keep him in good health. Just take care of us. Thank you for holding our hands. Bow your head, let us pray to God above to give us strength and know all His love. Lead us through this path of darkness, turn the night into day. Please, dear Lord, let us pray. Please, dear Lord, hear our prayers. Thank you.
That harmonica, you do well with that.
Yeah, I have a woman, my mom and my dad are both in heaven now. But I have a mother here on earth that's kind of like a mother. And I call my wife my godmother because I think God sent her to here to mother me, and Lord knows. But I got a woman up there, she's in Ohio. And so she's Sydney, Ohio, and I call her Mom Shine. She's my mother here on earth. And she loves the harmonica.
Somebody play harmonica is beautiful. It goes well with the guitar too. Just
it really does, yeah. I'm not really a harmonica player. I mean, I do all right with what I do. It's like I'm not a guitar player. I'm a guitar owner, you know, compared to those boys that can pick, you know. So, here's another one if you want to hear another one.
Oh, God, how you got time to do? I sit here all day listening.
Well, you know where Trinity Lane and Dickerson Road is.
Well,
that's a wrong side of town. Yeah. Well, it was. Now they've cleaned it up. Matter of fact, you know, when they had the Hurricane Katrina, well, Surpass was the chief.
Surpass.
Chief Surpass was the chief of police. Well, he relocated to Nashville. He became the chief of police in Nashville.
Yeah, I remember that.
Man, he cleaned it up. But so Dickerson Road and Trinity Lane.
He's back in New Orleans, I believe.
I believe so. And he, but nevertheless, so in '95, that was way before he got there. And I mean, it was, you know, Trinity Lane and Dickerson Road was crack and prostitute alley. Well, I had come on to Nashville from Kansas, and I broke down. I didn't have any numbers to call. I needed some money, you know. I had to drive in a 1974 funky Catalina. So
I wish I'd have known then. I wish I'd have known you.
yeah, me too. Yeah. Well, I got a hold of one guy, and he says, "Where are you at?" And I said, "I don't know." He goes, "Well, look around." So I looked around. I seen all these things. I said, "It looks like I'm on the corner of heaven and hell," you know. And so
Idea for the song.
I wrote this song. Corner of heaven and hell. A lot of you, my fans, have.
Crystal's there now.
Huh?
Crystal is there now.
Yeah, that's right. They're selling ice cream and blue jeans, and hot car stereos. They're giving away free balloons to all the girls and boys. They're selling cold beer, crack cocaine, and Jesus saves. The preacher yells, you can find anything you want on the corner of heaven and hell. Take a left turn off that main road, you might find the devil there. Take a right turn off that wrong road, you'll find God, He's everywhere. The choice you make is the chance you take on the soul. It's yours to sell. You can find anything you want on the corner of heaven and hell. Well, they got fast cars, they got wild bars, cotton candy and lollipops. And ladies of the night all day, they're swearing they're gonna stop. But the promise to everlasting life, the hottest thing they sell. You can find anything you want on the corner of heaven and hell. Take a left turn off that main road, you might find the devil there. Take a right turn off that wrong road, you'll find God, He's everywhere, whether you like it or not. The choice you make is the chance you take. The soul, the choice itself. You can find anything you want on the corner of heaven and hell. And the rest we've got, free will comes at a price too. You can find anything you want on the corner of heaven and hell. Heaven loves all the rest, and the best are here to tell. You can find anything you want on the corner of heaven and hell. Take a left turn off that main road, the devil there. Take a right turn off that wrong road, you'll find God, He's everywhere. The choice you make is the chance you take on the soul, it's yours to sell. You can find anything you want on the corner of heaven and hell. That thing, I couldn't write fast enough. I mean, I just
came right.
I held the pen that wrote that song, but I swear it wasn't me. It's just like, thanks, man.
And I'd like to learn the words to that, because
that song is on that CD.
Good, because
it sure is.
I will get. Well, matter of fact, my daughter that I was just calling, I gave him a little Jasmine guitar.
Yeah.
It's Talking Amy.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I
boy,
know.
I
Yeah.
love to play that little frame.
Yeah.
And I rigged it up with a pickup in it. I bought another old guitar at a pawn shop that had a pickup in it. I took the pickup, put in that little Takanimi. Easy to chord. Sound, I'd rather play it than that bender I had. And deep.
Oh, I love, yeah, Jasmine it's a knockoff from Takamine. But I've got a Takamine, it's in the shop right now, but, yeah.
But everything you've been playing, everything I know can play a little bit of it, just D chords up.
Right.
And that's my chord, I guess.
Right,
Yeah.
I like the key of D, but did you see what I'm doing? I'm keeping it up
Keep
too.
it
I'm
up.
still playing the key of D, but I leave this open so
It's a chord, yeah.
it's a drop D. It just one step up.
Who said instead, might have been Theo Lannis said, no one chord and a capo, you got it made.
Yeah, there you go. Here's one for you. I played Lower Broadway in Nashville, and all those little
Anybody who's anybody, come to Lower Broad.
Yeah, so I played there 7 days, it seemed like 8 days a week, sometimes 2 or 3 gigs a day. And in the history of songwriting, I think 99% of all songs were started out with the word I, and I wanted to be observational. And so when I played from 11 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon at Legends Corner Bar.
Yeah, I know that.
And yeah, it was 3 doors down from Tootsie's. And so I played Tootsie's quite a bit also. I played all of them, the Turf, all the For the Tornado and all that. So I'd get there in the morning and there'd be some guy all the way in the back by himself, drunk as a bicycle, listening to the jukebox. I never met that man, but I wanted to write a song about it. Well, how can you do that? Just make it, if I'm a left-handed artist, and if I can make up pictures, I can make up words. So I wrote this song, and right now they're doing a series about George Jones and Tammy Wynette's life. And so I wrote this song, and it came out. I didn't mean it. I just wanted to write a song about this guy, all the way in the back of the bar, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning, because you can start drinking at 6 o'clock. They sell alcohol in Nashville. Nashville is full of 2 things, that's egos and whiskey. I never got the ego part, but I got the whiskey part. I had enough for you and me and a lot of other people. Yeah, so I wrote this song about this man all the way in the back of the bar, and it just came out like this, and it's called Out of His Mind. Now you know about George and Tammy's relationship. It wasn't always
Nasty say he did good.
yeah, so I wrote this and it came out. And I'm hoping to get this song into this, because it tells about their life. So here we go. Called Out of His Mind. For him to hit her, he had to be out of his mind. All alone in the back of the bar room, he drinks one more last shot, with tears in his eyes. There's no disguising his love for her, just won't die. He plays her songs, he sings along like he's done 10,000 times. Without her hair, there ain't enough beer to drink her out of his mind. Everyone loved the songs that she sung, and how she stood by her man. Love ain't hurt, no, there's no way he can. Well, now that she's gone, with every song, for him never lived down the pain he put her through, for he never knew her voice would drive him insane. He plays her songs and he sings them long, like he's done 10,000 times. Without her here, there ain't enough beer to drink her out of his mind. He waves off his fans as he tries to stand and pour himself in a cab or on the John Deere tractor. And as he rolls down the street, she sings D-I-B-O-R to see he once again. We play her songs, we sing it long, like he's done 10,000 times. Without her here, there ain't enough beer to drink her out of his mind. So he'll never stop loving her or drink her out of his mind. I didn't even mean to write it about it. I didn't mean to. It just came out like that.
George Jones really loved that.
They said you released that before he goes because it talks about it. And he goes, he will put a contract out on you. And I said, well, I'll sign that contract. Yeah.
I went to, I think I've been to one concert in my life over at Evansville, and it was George Jones, Sonny James.
Oh wow, my mom
Merle
used to
Haggard,
be. Yeah. Oh my
Conway
God.
Twitty, on one ticket.
Oh my
Is
God.
that heaven or what?
It was Merle Haggard and who?
Conway
And George
Twitty and
Conway.
George
George
Jones
Jones.
and Sonny
Merle
James.
Haggard, George Jones, and Conway Twitty.
And Sonny James, I love
And
that.
Sonny James. My mama used to be his manager in the Midwest region.
Sonny James and it wasn't Sonny James.
I met Sonny James. I was about that tall. But
He puts on a great show. He just one bass player, stand-up bass, and I can't remember what song it was saying, but it had breaks in it, you know. And every time it comes to break, he was sitting there wiggling around like he had to pee, and when it comes to break, he'd start to go, and then Sonny would bring back the tune and never start singing again. And when it finally, the last break, he did lay that bass down and went to the bathroom, come back, sure was thirsty.
oh.
That was good, didn't it? But I liked it just as good. No show didn't appear.
Yeah.
I said, and the first time I ever went to the Grand Ole Opry, just to see George, didn't show up. That's
They kicked him off the opera.
Yeah.
They kicked Elvis Presley off the
I know.
opera too, for singing "Blue Moon of Kentucky" too fast. Yeah, and then they begged them all back, and no, we don't need you. I got this song. This is where my living hell was born. I can't recite it, but yeah,
if it hadn't been for Fred Rose, Hank Williams would have been on.
Ache Up Rose. You're
Rose.
right. Because Audrey took him in there, and he says, "Oh, so you think you're a songwriter, huh?" He goes, "I'll tell you what. I'm going to go on. Me and your wife are going to go out for lunch, and while we're gone, you write me a song about seeing a lost love on the road." I do that song all the time. Today I passed you on the street. They got back from lunch, and that song was written.
But Hank Williams was this day. I read his autobiography one time.
I did too.
He was going to pound biscuit. That's what made him drink and take him. He did it so he could stand up on that stage and perform. Because he hurt so bad.
We just went to his memorial site in Alabama, Montgomery. Yeah, we went out to Myrtle Beach to see a buddy of mine, and I saw Montgomery. We got kind of off track, and I saw a sign that said Montgomery, Alabama. Alabama. I'm like, man, I think Hank Williams' senior is, and sure enough, we looked it up, and I go, yeah, it's right up here. So we went out to the side. I even sang that, today I met you, can't help it if I'm still in love with you. I sang it right in front of it. I got a YouTube video of it, me singing right in front of it.
And they said that Hank Williams could do like Elvis does, just get on the stage and he would spot some lady and get her eye. And like Elvis Presley, she was hypnotized. Hank Williams was the same way. He had the women like that.
Yeah.
But and Hank Jr. is not really a junior. A lot of people don't realize that. Hank Williams' only name was
Hiram.
Yeah, he gave himself that name.
And Hank Jr. is Randall.
Yeah, so they can't.
And Hank the Third his name is Shelton.
I love to hear him say. I like to watch it.
You talking about Hank the Third?
Yeah.
He looks just like.
He is what
Have
he
you
is.
ever heard of Miles Williams?
No.
Miles, yeah, he's supposed to be, from what I understand, the grandchild of Hank, and he's a little bit too young, I think, to be. But nevertheless, he looks just like Hank, and just skinny and wiry.
Yeah,
And
and had that. I mean, just his sound came out just nice.
yeah,
You could do it different if you wanted to, probably.
right.
But Elvis, I mean Hank. Well, Elvis too. They had this old black man that sang, and that's how they really got started. By
Right.
listening to them singing the cotton field, picking cotton and stuff. And Tebow or something like that was Hank's. The black guy was Hank. I forgot what Elvis's was, but man, I tell you what, Hank Williams was it.
Yeah, he was the true. Him and Woody Guthrie. They were like the first true American poets. And
shit, Rogers, up here in Meridian, Jimmy Rogers.
Jimmy, yeah,
from Meridian up here.
yeah, he's buried. You know that cemetery right there on Gallatin Road, leaving town.
Yeah.
Acuff is there. Whitley is there. Jimmy
Spring
Rogers.
Hill. Spring Hill.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't in Spring Hill. It was on.
I know, but Spring Hill Cemetery is on.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that's the name of the cemetery.
Yeah.
And I always get it mixed up with Spring Hill, Tennessee, but it is the Spring Hill Cemetery.
Yeah. And Charlie Daniels, I think he's on the other. No, he might be up in where he. Who was it? Somebody on the other side. I think George Jones is on the other side of.
And I mentioned something about Charlie Daniels last night about driving it, but I ran with his driver coming down to Ohio, and then we stopped at Richwood and got fuel, and now we've been talking, and he had on a John Lennon t-shirt when we stopped.
Yeah.
We pulled up there was a line going to the pump, and I stopped right behind him, and when I got on the bus, he sat on the front row, that front seat, because there wasn't nobody on there. I can't remember who was there. But anyway, I sat in the driver's seat. We come down to pull up. Go ahead and pull it up. So I actually drove Charles Daniels' bus.
That's
That'd be a lot.
Well, he's the one who told me. In 1995, Charlie Daniels used to have a TV show on TNN, the Charlie Daniels Talent Roundup, and it used to be You Can Be a Star. And so I auditioned for him, and I didn't get turned down, but I didn't get accepted. And so then the TV show changed over, and so I was married, but we weren't getting along, so I left and went back to my hometown, Topeka, Kansas. And I got there, and my mom and dad divorced, And so he says, Garrett, says, your mom called, said something about a guy named Don DeShield called. I go, that's the producer for You Can Be a Star. He goes, yeah, they asked if you wanted to do another audition or just you passed the audition, because they had 2 times where I went and tried out, and they said, do you want to be on the show? I'm like, yeah. So I went. So we went. My dad and I went to Nashville from Kansas, 680 miles, and we got there, and I was on the show with Charlie Daniels. It was his show, and they brought me in his dressing room, and they brought all the contestants in, and we to talk to him. And he heard he says, son, I heard your sound check. He goes, you're really good. And I did a song that I wrote, and they'd rather you didn't do a song you wrote, go ahead and do a cover song. But I did a song I wrote, and so he goes, what do you, he goes, man, you're as good, if not better than some people that made it. What are you doing in Kansas? And I was an artist for Jostin's American Yearbook. And he goes, I don't know what you're doing in Kansas City. You need to be here. And I turned around, I went back to Nashville, and man, I went down through there. Hey, I made bad choices. You know, it's but nevertheless, so yeah, it was Charlie. That was my running, and he told me, you know, look him up. You know, I'll get you set up. I'll help you out. Well, I got back because he didn't know I was going to go to Kansas and get in my car and pack up everything and sell what I didn't need, and come right back. He didn't know, and I went. They said, yeah, he just left last night. He's gone on the road for 6 months. So, oh man, I'll tell you what, I started playing at the bars right away.
I'm far from being an expert, but I think I know enough. I can recognize talent when I hear it. And you are.
Oh, well, thank you, man.
I mean that. I've listened so much now. I've watched and listened, and I can tell. I just wish I could think like that. And Jerry McKinney, he's got some stuff on YouTube, and he mainly does cover songs. George Strait is his favorite, and I
love George.
He nailed the chair. I mean, Jerry sung the chair. It was just.
I used to do that song. I do the Fireman.
Yeah.
Mac Bicker wrote that song. From what I understand, well, he was a good friend of the family. Anyway.
And when Jerry was in high school, or in school, actually junior high, we met in 5th grade, he was just too bashful to get up and do a book report. And then he got, when I was in the Army, I quit school, and he went on. But he got nerve enough, I guess, I don't know what made him do it, but he could talk to anybody, took singing lessons. The man's got a voice. They can play. The guy who
are you talking about again?
Jerry McKinney.
Okay.
And Jerry McKinney Band, Gig Masters is I guess what, promoter or whatever. And there's a Jerry McKinney preacher. They're 2 different ones.
Right.
And Jerry always wore the hat. He lost his hair, and I. But we were the best friends, and still are really. I got a little down. Well, I had an opportunity at Titan.
Hey, real quick. Nobody comes around looking at other people's cars out there. Okay.
But I tell you what, Mandy and Scotty, they're good about that.
I left things out and I didn't lock it. Anyway, but go ahead.
He come out my house one day. I don't know how we really got to be friends. I asked him. And because I was from the other side of the tracks, I didn't have much money. And Jerry didn't even really be. His daddy was a preacher. And he had this air about him. And didn't meet a stranger. But he moved to Tucson on account of his hands, like weightlifting. And I got a trip was tight when I was working for them. That's Shelbyville, Tennessee. And they gave me time to, I had a delivery to Walmart in Apple Valley. And I come back and loaded, I think, down at San Bernardino. But I called Jerry. And we didn't play sports. I shot marbles. I don't think that I was good, dude.
Yeah?
And Jerry wasn't worth shit, but he caddied for me. Put him in the ring or whatever. And when I called him from, I think, San Bernardino, and told him, I didn't tell him what it was. I said, Jerry, you know, you might recognize the voice. When voices don't change, don't get shit out of you.
Yeah.
And I said, you know me, but I'm not going to tell you who I am. You hear me say things to me, you might recognize the voice. He said, I sound with me, but he's not the guy that did something like, I won't venture to guess, but I might hurt somebody's feelings.
Right.
And that was Jerry's attitude. And I said, I can say about 3 words, and you'll know where I'm going. You'll know who I am. He said, what are you? I said, you were my caddy. Harold, Gary, where you at?
Oh, wow.
And I said, and that's been 40 years since I seen him or talked to him when I did this.
Wow.
And I promised him I'd stay all night with him. Graduation, 8th grade graduation. And I did. I really did. I was just too ashamed to. I'd never slept 20 sheets before. And we were dating home, I guess it's good, and it. But he said, where you at?
You never slept between sheets, huh?
Not till I went on.
Wow, until you went to the
we
army.
had other things to spend that money on.
Yeah.
6 kids. And
Wow.
Daddy was a farmer. Only like $24 a week, so what he was making when my older brother started high school.
Oh my.
And he done, you know, he was complacent. He probably could have done better, but why venture out when you're doing okay? And anyway, I told him that I was in San Bernardino and I'm going to stop visiting you if you have me. He said, how long is it going to take you to get here? And I told him within 10 minutes. Everybody run that way, and nobody knew. And he said, well, you're in your truck out yet? And he said, well, I'll be there at the Red Rock, Arizona exit. I'll be waiting on you. And he wasn't waiting no 10 minutes, and I was, because I couldn't park at his house. And oh, it was something else. It was a reunion that, wow. Man, I loved that guy. And he took me home. I spent about 6 or 8 hours, and Titan gave me time to do that. Otherwise, I'd go. And I think I was the only one out of Henderson that went out there visiting. But I had the opportunity. And it just all over again. And I asked him, Jerry, why in the world how did you ever pick me for a friend? A best friend anyway. He said, it wasn't what you had, it was you, Harold. And that made me feel better too. But his family treated me real great, you know. And I was down when I moved here.
Yeah. Because
I just lost my wife, and that was something else. Never even thought I would experience something like it. And I needed somebody to talk to, that it wasn't in the family or whatever. And I called him. He sat there and talked to me for a long time. He said, "That's Carol." Oh, Carol. He said, "I'm honored that you picked me to talk to." Well, Jerry, you're my brother more or less, because we was together for a long time.
Yeah.
And he said, well, you're right. And he said, when I hung up finally, anytime you want to talk, to what time of day or night it is, call me. And I would still call him now. He's a good man to talk to.
Wow.
He just something else.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, you don't have many friends like that.
I've got 2 friends that...
He come riding out my house on his bicycle one day, on 5th, 6th grade. We lived 4 miles out of town on the airline road, and like I said, we didn't have anything. And he would come out there just go swimming in the whole pond was around the house. And he didn't even think about when I told him, don't try not to drink more than brown water. then you have to go swimming. And he didn't think about that either. So we're sharing it. This is their home. This is their swimming pool. Some of them cows and
Yeah.
pond with it. And shit, he drove right in. He bought him a bed. But he's just that naive, because he wouldn't tell nothing. And he used to ride in town my life, every morning his paper round and all that shit. We were just in trouble. He used to call me. He had television, we didn't. And when somebody like a Doug Oldham and the Dixie Six was one big man, Les Smith are in the Super X Cowboys, which is another one. They were great. Les made fiddles and sold something like $3,000 a piece. And I got to know him. But and Jerry knew Doug Oldham through music, and I knew it through trucking. Doug was a truck driver.
Right.
Yeah, and so we had something called that. Spider Rich played lead guitar for Les and Doug. He's a great lead guitar player. That was Jerry's mentor. Spider thought he was going to be a guitar. And Spider Rich composed Yakety Axe for Chet Atkins.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spider's brother was
I know Boots Randolph did the
with Spider, Boots, and with all the musicians around home, they were just packed. They were great, but they never went to Nashville. Doug Oldham could play a steel guitar. He had one out called Steel Guitar Chimes, and he drove for A&H, alcohol is what we called it, in Tell City, Indiana. And they stayed at the Mercury Motel in Nashville laid over. And some old drunk that was there eating breakfast one morning night, Doug told me about this. Some drunk came in there and played that steel guitar chimes over and over and over. And come over and butted in them drivers when they're eating. Boy said, that's a great song. I wonder who did that. And Doug said, I did. Man said, you blowing smoke now, ain't you? But Doug said, no, that's my record. I put it on, they put it on jukebox, I recorded. He said, what's your name? He said, Doug said, my name's Doug Oldham. So he went and looked on the marquee on the jukebox, Doug Oldham. Come back over, you really did that, didn't you? He said, I told you did. Let me see your driver license. That is Doug Oldham. Wow. And he loved that song. It is beautiful. But it's he never would come to Nashville. It's too many steel guitar players.
Yeah.
And he had a family to raise.
Yeah.
But then Grandpa Jones is from Henderson, my hometown. Robert's actually a little town right outside of Henderson, and he left real young. All his family's still there. They're all carpenters.
Yeah.
And Maurice Jones is his grandpa's name, really. And hell, he's been around. And he got that look from somebody, I can't remember how he got it, the dress, and that's why he was real young, and he looked like a grandpa, and that was his name. I forgot who gave it to him, I didn't know that. But they come from everywhere.
Yeah, one time I was on a work detail, and we had to go clean up a cemetery, and it had I cleaned up Grandpa Jones' cemetery, String Bean.
Oh,
remember how he died, got killed.
Yeah, I had just moved to Nashville, hadn't been there long, and him and Rona his wife got killed.
Do you remember Skulls? Rainbow Lamp, Printer's Alley? Printer's Alley, isn't it?
I know.
Yeah.
That Rambo's happened to me.
Yeah, Skulls Rainbow Lounge. It was it was buried at the very end. They had Barbara's. They had that was back in the good old days when country music was actual 3 chords of the truth instead of a bunch of pop music with a fiddle. You know, Georgette Jones. We're really good friends. And
Yes, she is.
oh, we're really good friends. In
She-
fact, I just pictured that song. I just pitched it to her and her husband. As I told them, hey, I'll give you half publishing, or we can negotiate. But it's perfect for this thing that they're doing about George and Tammy. So we'll see what happens. More than likely, nothing. But I don't care.
Who knows?
Yeah, and it's all whatever. I'm fine with whatever happens. I'm good with it. You know, you just live and let go, let God. That's how it's my.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yes. Yeah, we was in the studio the other day, and I'm taping it like I'm doing this right now, and I told my wife, I'm like, we're making history. She goes, well, I hope we're building and making a future. I'm like, yes, dear. So, I probably ought to get on if I can play one or two more if you want to hear it.
As long as you can.
Okay, man. Let's see here.
Like I would try to learn to ski on one ski one time and so
Slalom?
yeah, and I couldn't drop it, I couldn't come up on it or nothing, and I was kind of thinking about taking that guy time and using his boat. I got one later on, but I told him first and great, I never could get the hang of it, and Arlen told me, I'll be here, I mean, till you get done. He goes till I get tired. He wouldn't worry about me, but he's gonna be there forever. Just let me ski.
Right.
But I never did love ski or ski.
Well, we went, my dad and we always went skiing. It was funny, we had this guy go with us one time, and my dad did slalom, you know, one ski, and I just did the two skis. And so my dad did it, and we had this guy with us, and he was this black dude, really didn't like water, but he was with us, and my dad and he did slalom, you know, one ski, and we did two skis. Well, he had never skied before. He goes, you know, he asked him, do you want to go skiing? He goes, yeah, I'll try it. So he got in the water, and they gave him two skis. He goes, oh, no, I'm going to try one ski first, and once I do that, then he thought this.
Just backwards.
He goes, I'm not going to do two skis. I'm going to do one. No, that's not how it's done. But it was funny. Well, here's one. I got a song called Balls. I'll play it for you next. But I don't like guns. I can't stand them.
No,
I got one. Yeah, I got one, but
I was afraid I would lose it if you shoot so many low grades.
yeah, my dad and my brother, they love guns.
I got one son in the family.
I'm sorry?
One son in the family that's a hunter, fisher, and likes guns and got guns.
Well, they love to go. I couldn't go out in western Kansas to pheasant hunting, quail, and all that. Until I was 7 years old, I was actually able to hold up a 20 gauge. We got out there and got up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go out to western Kansas and go hunt.
Anybody out there, you might do it.
Yeah, and so we're out there, and we get into a cornfield, and I'm in a corn row, and about 4 or 5 over was my dad, about 4 or 5 over was my brother, and we're going down. All of a sudden, a covey of quail comes up right in front of me. Get it, Garrett! And so I remember the gun was down. I was raising it up, and boom! I hit it into the ground, and I did it on purpose. I thought, those birds never did anything to me. Why should I kill them? Fucking up their day. So I wrote this song. I hated, you know. I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, 'cause I'm too damn scared that I would hurt someone. A sit duck could sit around with me. 12-point buck, that's an awesome sight to see. Well, my big bad brother backed a turkey most every year. My father brags that my brother, he was born to kill. Well, hell, they sit around and they pick on me for fun.